What up?
How we doing? You alright?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah.
How
really,
are
really
you?
Good. Really good.
Good. Welcome along to the BBQ Talk Show, guys. My name's Matt.
And my name's Ryan. Today we are going to be interviewing even. I'll put my teeth back in. We're going to be talking to the Dude's Kitchen, Mr. Mike Wolford. So it's going to be wicked to have a chat and find out about his new project that he's got coming up, and it's going to be a real good giggle. Hope you've all got your drinks ready for a good chat and a few beers. So let's get chatting to Mike. Hi everybody in the chat. C-Max in there. Good to speak to you, dude. Let's get the show rolling. Come on.
Let's get Mike in. What up,
hey,
brother?
everybody. Hey. Good, you?
Yeah,
Thank you for having me on, guys.
Not too bad. Pickles in the house. Hi, Pickles.
Hey, Charlie.
Hi,
Steve, Greg.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back on, mate. You was our first, and now we're a little bit more structured. So we was always going to get you back once we were in better shape.
And you guys mind if I make a White Russian?
Go for it.
Oh,
mate.
you carry on.
I think you can give us a talk through on your White Russian if you like. I've never.
All right,
absolutely right.
I pour about this much vodka in it.
Mm-hmm.
About right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And about this much Kahlua.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That looks about right to me. You know, the dude's drink is a White Russian, right?
Yeah.
And the store was out of heavy cream, so I'm going with half and half. But you know what? I like half and half.
Do you know, I don't think I've ever had a White Russian, so I think it's time. That does look quite nice.
Yeah. That's all there is to it, guys. Cheers, brothers.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me on again.
I would say cheers. I have been lazy and I have forgotten to fill my cup up. I made a phone call to get some, to go with your lovely beach theme behind you, Mike, and I wanted some cocktails. However, my lovely wife has just left the shops prior to my phone call, so it looks like I'm going dry as Gandhi's flip-flop tonight.
Oh
well, the show must go on, they say.
And it must.
And it will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what have we been up to since the first time you came on our show and the last time we spoke?
Well, I got to say, guys, first of all, I love your show. You guys' show. I got Fly in here, and he keeps wanting to go over the camera. You guys got a great show, and I try to be on there every Friday. So lots of cooking. Introduced my daughter recently to the show. She's a vegetarian. So I really like the fact that I can film in her kitchen versus outside, especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
And that really, expanded things a lot. I get a lot of people wanting her more and more. And so I can see her down the road, especially over the winter, doing more. And then I started my own barbecue talk show.
Yeah.
Wednesday, but that's nothing compared to what you guys got. But
I really enjoyed it. I listened to it. It's good. I love your little what is it, cilantro chart you've got running? You've started that up. I quite like that. That's a cool idea.
Team cilantro, yes or no? So every guest that we have on, and you guys will be on eventually, we ask you, are you team cilantro or not? And that actually came from Chris and Steve at Uncle Steve's Shakes. They were on one day, and they said, no, I don't like cilantro. And I thought, that'd be kind of cool to run with, Are you a cilantro person or not? So I am. My co-host is not, even though she's Hispanic. So we just right now we have it's right behind me, but we have 1 and 1.
Yeah.
So are you team cilantro or not cilantro, or coriander in the UK?
Correct. Yeah. Yes, I am team cilantro.
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, I am too. I quite like it. I know the missus isn't the keen, but I enjoy it. It's good.
Thumbs up from me. There you go. So you got two more on the thumbs up board.
I'll add them.
There we go.
Yeah.
She's put coriander too.
That's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, just called different thing in the UK. Same plant. why we decide to call it something different, or you guys call it something different. I reckon it's you guys. It's not us. It's our language. You ruined it.
Yeah, well, it's American. It's funny you mention that because the other day when I couldn't think of how to spell cilantro, so I had to Google it, and it came up coriander, and I went, that doesn't sound right to me. So, and then it was right below that. I went, okay, and I never really thought about it, but until now.
Yeah, it's loads of different.
It always stumps me every time someone says cilantro. I'm like, I know that it's not that in the UK. It's something different. Oh yeah, coriander. Every time. Why I don't really know. But yeah, that's good. So, your new show. Tell us about it.
Well, really, it's just a. I don't know. I call it the Wednesday night barbecue and talk show because once Daddy Cook comes on or Chris comes on, that conversation can go anywhere, up, down, all around. So we decided to add the cook or the talk to it. But the primary thing is talking about barbecue. It's similar to what you guys had. Actually, I used you guys. I went back and looked at some older episodes to get ideas from because I really like how you guys do it, and so it's very much modeled after you. They say imitation is the best form of flattery.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's very similar to how you guys do it. We just bring a guest on. The first episode was just getting to know the guest, right? And what Monica likes, and we did a little spoof beforehand where I had these two cutouts of Captain Kirk and Captain Picard. And I had them on as my first guest, and Kirk had the mask on, being, into that social distancing. And my son voiced both of them. Although I have to say his British accent is absolutely horrible. It's deplorable. It's bloody horrible. Bloody deplorable. But so what we did is we took Captain Kirk was from Iowa. We thought, we're going to make him into filet mignon and just anything spectacular. Captain Picard being from France, he was into white trash foods and Orion slave girls and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Just opposite of what you think they would be.
Absolutely. Good.
Why not? That's what I say. It was. I love that. That beginning was so cool. It was like totally off-board. That's what I like about some of your videos. Like when you've done the Big Lebowski sort of spoof thing, I thought that was really cool as well. It's good. I like the way you do that sort of stuff, Mike. It's really cool. You should keep.
And I dressed up as a dude for that one, and I probably will for all of them. I've got several things. Like tomorrow, we're going to a Halloween party, and I've got my Lebowski 2020 for President shirt, and I'll wear that with the cardigan and the Mayan jump pant things and flip flops, even though it's 40 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's getting cold over here as well now.
Yeah. Cold, wet, windy, typically British.
Just cold and windy, typical Idaho.
Yeah, not nice. It's just like I want to go outside and cook, but I also want to just stay inside in the warm and just eat biscuits.
You've got your shack now. There's no excuse.
It fucking leaks. It leaks like a fucking sieve. All that time that I spent putting it up and doing it with a fucked back, it's it's a sore subject.
That's why I use plastic. It doesn't leak.
Mate, I put on fucking over the top amounts of felt on that roof. I went out there last night to have a look, and it's pissing down through the middle of it. I'm like, the fuck? There's just not any logical place for it to come in. I looked. I even got up there and had a look. Nope. Overlapped by a good 60, probably about 8-10 inches. The felt's overlapped.
That much then.
It's about this, yeah. About that much.
That's 8 inches, yeah.
It's about sure. at least a foot. Okay? Overlap. If not more in some places. So unless I've got fucking gravity-defying water that's going and back in, fuck is it leaking from?
The
only place it can be is where I've banged the nails in. It's just thought, fuck you, I'm going to leak from there.
I told you to put a load of bitumen on it, didn't I? I said, cover it in bitumen, then dirt. You're just like, nah,
I'm going to get out there and I'm going to tar the fucking lot.
That's what you got to do.
So that's enough ranting about my shed until.
Tar and feather it, guys. Tar and feather.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Slightly off subject. We're here to talk all about Mike, not your barbecue.
Hey, I've got an outside gazebo thing, and I bought on Amazon Prime Day 2 space heaters, and I thought, those will really help me out. And then when I put the damn thing up, the first one up, it's too big for inside. It hits the roof, and I'm like, screw this. So I don't know what Plan B is.
Fire bowl. I have a fire pit. Just have that going under. That'd be cool. Or just fire up a barbecue, keep you warm enough. Sitting there.
I mean, there you go.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll get a fire pit underneath the canopy and just set fire to the fucking thing.
Have you seen my fire pit?
Get somebody else to do it. Like,
no, I haven't.
So I had an old smoker that I bought from Walmart when I first, even before I even had the concept of the Dude's Kitchen, I thought, I'm going to buy this smoker and it's going to be really cool. It sat in the garage for 2 years. I finally put it together and like, what a piece of shit this thing is. So we use it as our fire pit now.
Yeah. Well, the first ones always are, like my little Brinkman thing. Jesus, that taught you fire management. You was constantly on the go with that. It was awful, but you learn how to do stuff. So it's got to take a positive from everything. Your drum would run sweet. You just got to learn how to use it, mate. That's the thing. It's hooking a great big into it and blowing the top off.
Yeah, that's probably what caused it. To be fair. Yeah, well, I was going to show you some pictures of the shack, but I haven't got any. Maybe that's something for next week. They're on my Instagram if you want to have a look, guys.
So since the last time you was on, Mike, your channel is blown up. You're monetized now. You're a proper YouTuber.
I am not monetized, believe it or not.
Are you not?
I'm only 50% of the way there. I just hit the 50% mark the other day. But I did hit I'm at 1216 last I checked. I think that was yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of it had to do with my daughter, bringing her on. Because I get a lot of traffic from peeps. If I do a smoke, anything, hamburgers or whatever, my traffic kind of goes down. But if I do anything vegetarian, man, it just shoots up. So, except for this last one. So I contribute that a lot to her. So, and I even had somebody recently confuse me with being a vegetarian. I'm like, oh no,
yeah,
that ain't happening. I got a pork butt on the smoker right now, guys. Come on. It's only at 140 degrees, but it's on its way.
Mm-hmm.
You're just gonna have to sort of have a video of you holding it whilst doing the other bits. Just
there you go.
Hanging around your neck. Get a t-shirt. I love meat.
Yeah.
Veggie Mike. Yeah.
See, I saw something funny on the old Facebook the other day. Was a picture of a steak with obviously a vegan or a vegetarian had gone out and stuck a sticker of a cow. This is Molly. You killed Molly. All of this bollocks. You've killed her to enjoy her meat. Do you still want to eat it knowing its name? And the caption below it was, "Fuck yeah, I'd be chasing these trying to find one like the Coke bottles." Remember when they did all the names on the Coke bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rummaging through the fridge trying to find your name on a steak. That is me to a T.
That's cool, man. So, yeah, back to the channel chat. I'm trying to steer it around. I don't know what you've been up to, but you've got more bounce than Zebedee tonight, Matt. Have you had one or two extra cans of Coke or something? You should try the diet stuff. Don't go full fat anymore.
This is what I'm like. This is what I'm like with no pain.
Good.
Nice. So once the pain disappears,
I'll drink to that, guys.
Full of fucking energy.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Maybe I should have been like this when we had our, the other guest on that didn't think we were animated enough. Super animated now, over animated.
Over animated, yeah.
Even C-Mac thinks I'm over animated. Have you seen it?
I will take it on my show. Or on my episode. I will take it. Sorry. Not my show. My episode.
Yes, your show. You're the guest. It's all about you, mate. It is your show. You're going to be on the title. It's your show.
C-Mac thinks I'm on some form of drug. Yeah, is the cocaine kicking in nicely? Nope.
Nope.
It's just the air I breathe, mate. I'm just high on life. High on life, living life with no more pain. Woohoo!
Absolutely flying.
Right. Let's get some good questions. We probably covered it in the first one, but we're going to recap some of them anyway. Just because, let's be honest, the first show didn't look like this professional outfit that we have now. So
it's kind of like my background, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was there, but it's not. It's there, but it's not.
I physically want to go and lie on that beach.
Me too.
Just I'm done.
Without you, Matt, I would like to go and lay on that.
Oh, come on, Mike, don't be like that. We could go skipping down that beach with our Speedos on together, hand in hand.
I don't know about Speedos. You don't want to see this in a Speedo, brother.
Have you seen me?
Yeah, I have.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
Oh, wow.
Now give Ryan another 6 months.
Yeah.
Then we're talking.
And you're okay. There we go. You're in, Ryan.
Oh, I have to get a pair of budgie smugglers.
Oh yeah. Where has this show gone? It goes off season. We start talking about holidays, budgie smugglers, and skipping down the beach hand in hand in budgie smugglers.
Woo.
Let's get back onto some normal-ish questions. I want to first geek out.
Go on.
I was going to say about your show. What setup have you got there? I can see a nice looking microphone poking in the shot there, Mike. What you got and what's going on with that?
Well, I want to say normalish. I like that. It is. I don't know. It's just a microphone that I bought on Amazon Day, and it's kind of comes out and over, and it's also got a guard over it. But I find that I don't really need the guard. And then I just got today this here nice little webcam.
Oh yeah.
That I will put into place for next week. So that's really all I've got. And then usually Captain Picard and Kirk sit off to the sides so you don't see the side.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we did.
Cool.
I mean, what did we do? I mean, for people that haven't seen the previous episodes of our show, I'm sat in my bedroom. Nice. But you wouldn't know that because I'm sat in the corner.
I'm in a garage.
There you go. It's what works for you, Mike.
Exactly.
I mean, the thing that we've learned and the guys that we've had on that are well established, they all say audio is key, and you get in there with your mic and sound good, mate. Sound good.
Yeah, and I'm still learning the mic. I edited the first show last night. It'll come out Monday. It's just kind of like get to know your host. Of course, Wednesdays is the actual show. And there were times that I had to go in and increase the volume because for whatever reason, I'm thinking it's just the way I speak or maybe the way I turn my head. The volume, it'll go like this and then drop, and then come back up.
Also depends what type of microphone it is, depending on how it's set up to capture the sound. I mean, that's probably made an absolute awful noise in the thing, but that one captures audio everywhere.
Gotcha.
Ryan's is very similar, does the same sort of thing, captures audio from. This is more of a bit of a directional, but it just depends on what microphone set you get.
I have these little analog knobs on the side that for today's show you can
adjust the game and stuff.
Yeah,
fair enough. But it's just a matter of finding a good position and keeping it where it is. It works good. It sounds good though, Mike. It does sound good.
Okay, so we've got a question in from Charlie. What has been your most challenging YouTube cook or video?
I just released a video a couple weeks ago where I took a charcoal chimney and cooked on it. And it's like, I think Steve from Dutchie said that's like doing it on an afterburner. Same with Craig with Behind the Garage, who happens to be our first guest. He also mentioned afterburner, and that was true. That was a biatch to cook on. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the potato cooked took 48 minutes to cook this baked potato. No, 42. I'm sorry. But the steak, I was so afraid it's just sitting directly over that flame that I was going to fry it. So I put it off to the side. Well, then it started stalling out. So then I had to put it back on, let it come up, flip it, and then it starts getting. You can just start to see the darkness of it, the burnt, and so you take it off again. That was my most challenging cook. But I had a blast. The steak actually did come out good, just because I had to babysit it.
Yeah, that sort of temperature, it must be super hot, like going over one of them starters. I've never tried it, but I'd always fancy to have.
I figured, what the hell? Why not? I did a baked potato in it before, and I actually wrapped it up, put it into the chimney, and it just fried the hell out of it. And so I did another one where I put it on top, and it took, same thing, about 42 minutes to cook, and it just came out perfect. But I'd never done a steak until that episode.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a steak. Oh yes, I've done a steak cook on the Weber. Thanks, Matt. It's writing so much smaller than yours, Matt.
Mine certainly looks bigger on camera.
I just think Matt's overcompensating. It's not the size of it; it's what you can do with it. But I think that's not strictly true. I can
swing it. I can swing it like the best of them.
Stupid flies. There's like 2 flies in here. They drive me nuts.
Don't worry, Mike. They've come and joined me as well.
They land on my forehead. I look like our vice president, with a fly on his forehead during the debate. And he claims I didn't know it was there.
It might be the same fly.
It might be.
See, we're famous now. We have the fly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So let's get first sort of a memory that you have of cooking over flames. It's a question we would have asked you the first time round, but like I said, let's recap on the first memory of cooking.
First memory of cooking is with my stepdad, probably in the mid 70s. We had a Weber kettle, and that was really, that I remember back in the day. That's all we had, and you put the charcoal in and you cook hamburgers and hot dogs. And I remember my stepdad, Bruce, love that man dearly, showing me how to cook on a Weber kettle. And it wasn't until just recently, within the last 6 months, that I bought a Weber kettle. And I love doing hamburgers and hot dogs and you name it. For Halloween, we're going out there, and I'm taking the Weber kettle out and doing a pork shoulder. We'll see how that one turns out.
Fair enough. So you said you've just bought a Weber kettle. What other sort of pits have you got then, Mike?
I have a Cuisinart 360, which Kent at Daddy Dutch calls the round Blackstone. That was the star of the show for a long time. Weber's kind of taken over. I have a Pit Boss gas grill that I bought by accident.
You bought it by accident.
I was drunk one night, and I wanted a Pit Boss. Well, okay, so I actually have 2 items that I bought by accident, being drunk, on Amazon. So I bought this Blackstone, and it turned out to be a gas grill, but it's one of the uprights, and it's not that great for smoking, but man, it can make a mean cookie, or even a cake. Man.
So you bought yourself a cake maker.
I did. Yeah, and I'm actually using it on November 14th. I think it's November 14th. My wife's a photographer. She's doing a photo shoot, and I'm making cookies all day long on that thing. And then once again, I wanted a Pit Boss, and somehow or another, I got a Z Grill pellet grill. But, at first I was a little disappointed. I thought, damn it, I did it again. Got to remember not to buy shit while I'm drunk. And I'll tell you what, right now I've got a pork butt on there. It was at 140 degrees. It is an amazing grill for being a cheap ass grill or pellet grill. And so that's really what I have. It's just those 4. And I cook just about everything on it.
You always know when you're talking to a barbecue guy. Yeah, I've got just the 4. Exactly. Just the 4 barbecues. I've only got 4.
I've just got the 4. I want more, but I don't
Yeah.
think I'm allowed them. I can't fit them in my shit shack.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a UDS, and Daddy Dutch or not Daddy Dutch, Daddy Cooks has kind of turned me on to the UDS recently. I've gotten to know him. Matter of fact, I met him on your show, and I've gotten to know him fairly well afterwards.
Yeah.
And he's convincing me slowly to get a UDS, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
join the UDS family, brother.
Jump in UDS, Ugly Drum Smokers UK, Barbecue UK. I run a UDS group. If you're going to buy one, like you're going to get as good a tips or anywhere. If not, Steve, UDS Texas. That's another
Steve
big group for builds.
I'll take a look at it because I could see it happening this spring.
Steve Powell, he's good. We've had him on the show. Steve Powell's he's a top guy. And he manufactures a load of the parts as well for a certain bit. So yeah,
I think I've seen him on. Yeah,
another great guy to get in touch with, especially if you're going to build it yourself, or if you're going to commission it built. He custom makes them.
I don't know if I have the patience to build it myself, but I would definitely go for it.
It's the satisfaction you get from building it, and then annihilating meat in it. When it gets up to about 400 or 500 degrees C. No, I'd certainly build another one. In fact, I'm thinking of building another one because my one's a bit battered and has more holes than it should really have in.
Duct tape. 2 words. Duct tape.
I don't think duct tape's going to fix that, Mike. I think it might melt. It's not character. It leaks like the shed.
Or you can put get some magnets and just put the magnet, like the thin magnet strips. You can put that over it. That'll stop it leaking.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, these are 2-inch holes, mate. Magnets aren't going to cover 2-inch holes.
You can buy
I need a new lid.
Strip.
Need a new lid. We'll probably sort the situation out. Dutchy says build it and set it on fire.
There you go.
Absolutely, pretty much what I did multiple times. Yeah. YouTube channel. What made you first start up on YouTube?
Well, believe it or not, I've always wanted to have a cooking show.
Okay.
Since Guy Fieri first came on, and I really connected with the way that he's just off the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then lo and behold, about 3 years ago, I took second place at a Big Lebowski lookalike contest. And my sister was there, and she watched the movie for the first time. She's like, what the fuck did I just watch? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But as we're sitting there a little while later, she goes, you need to start your talk show or your cooking show, but do it like you're the dude. And I thought, that's not a bad idea. And then my best friend kind of prodded me into it, and he was my original cameraman. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of took off from there. And now I look back at some of those first, 100 episodes back and just cringe watching those things like, oh my God, I cannot believe how inexperienced we were. There.
It's a learning curve for everyone, mate. That's the thing,
That's it. I mean, we're 21 episodes in now. And if we go back to our first one, which was you, and the green screens and all the other shite that we had going on, that, we go back and look at it, it's like, what on earth were we thinking?
Yeah, but at the time, though, you think it's like, hey, look at us. We got the green screens and all that sort of stuff. Your head disappears as you do stuff and things like that.
My wife has been very supportive on it as well, as I call her Mrs. Dude. Mm-hmm. She loves to reap the benefits of whatever I cook. And she takes a lot of the thumbnail pictures that I do. So if it weren't for her as well, I don't think
kind of a joint venture then, by the sounds of it.
To some degree, yeah.
She's helping a little bit with you. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So. My wife just gets to enjoy it, and then takes the piss out of me when I'm sat there trying to take pictures for Instagram, and you're like, hold on a second, that little bit of bacon's in the wrong place.
Yep.
You're like,
That's why I just turn it over to her. I go, here you go, honey. Here's the final product. Take a picture. And it's usually I'll make 2 and give 1 to her, and I'll eat the other.
And then there's one, yeah. So I heard a funny one the other day that a lot of food Instagrammers, so people that take pictures of food, will produce food to eat, and they'll produce a spare one, and the spare one will be the one that they, take the pictures of. So it will be like covered in oils to make it shiny, or they'll basically fucking ruin it to make it look uber attractive on the internet. And you're like, but you just spent ages cooking that to just take a picture of it, just to get some likes. Fuck that.
If I'm not willing to eat it, I won't show it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I've had a couple where I wouldn't feed that shit to my dog.
No,
and those videos just go by the wayside. Yeah, I have the Fridge of Fame, right? And the first time I ever did a video, I put Charlie on there. He was the first sticker I ever got, and the food came out horrible. And I've often wondered, how in the hell can I take that little bit that I did with Charlie, putting a sticker on there, and incorporate it into a video that makes it look like it was all a part of the video I'm doing now.
That's a how would you chop? I suppose you could just chop it out and download it again, and then re-upload it into a new one.
Yeah, but the problem is I was in a different location. It would just be totally out of place. I have an idea that I might run with, but we'll see.
Highlights reel.
There you go.
Say run a show reel type things, or a time warp.
So as in if you ever decide to, you could. Well, when your returning visitors come back to your YouTube page and you've got an auto playing video, you could just do a highlights reel of all the best bits of your cooks.
Yeah,
take a little bit of editing and putting together, but yeah,
that's a cool idea.
Daddy Dutch wants to know what your favorite video you've made is.
I have 2. Our absolutely our first video, we learned so much from it. It had my sister on it. She made white trash enchiladas. I do cringe watching it, but I had a blast doing it. But my favorite video was the one where I called out Kent, and I made 2 things of ribs. One more along the style that he made them versus one I would make them. And I thought they were both just out of the park, man. They were both amazing. It was fun to film, fun to do, and there was very little alcohol involved in it.
Very little?
Very little.
What were they, just really big measures?
Yeah.
It just took forever to do, you got ribs, you got ribs, and and so I had watched Kent's video previous to it, where he was working with Uncle Steve's competition pig powder, CPP. And I thought, I got to do this. So I watched his video and did it as best as I could, the way he laid it out. And he had the olive oil on there, and he did the honey and the butter, etc. And so I prefer mustard on mine. So I slathered mine with mustard and pretty much did it the same way. And I could not really tell a difference in the flavor, but I had a blast making that video. And that's one of the videos I am most proud of.
Well, there you go. Spot on. I'm interested. White trash enchiladas. What are they? Because I want some.
My very first video. So go back and look at it. But basically, it's enchiladas with Velveeta and a boatload of Velveeta. Here in the States, if you're going to be white trash, you're going to have Velveeta.
There we go.
Yeah. So what is Velveeta? I've heard of that, but I'm not sure.
It's just a processed. Sorry, flies. It's just a processed cheese. I recently did a video where I made beer cheese soup, and I actually took some heat for this, and that's okay. But instead of I did everything pretty much the same, except for I used Velveeta cheese versus just like a sharp cheddar cheese or a medium cheddar cheese or whatever. I used Velveeta, and it just melts. just perfectly. And I thought that stuff, it came out great. The flavor was amazing.
Yeah.
But I took some heat on Facebook for that one. I had one guy actually kind of go, this, I love your camera styles, blah, 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 but this sounds horrible. Oh, well, hey, that's your opinion. I enjoyed it. And I know another guy by the name of Craig, and I can't think of his channel. He used to live here in Boise. He tried to recreate it, and there was something wrong with it. He missed the spice. He probably didn't put Uncle Steve's in it, and he said it came out really good, but not as good as he thought it would. Because I used Uncle Steve's in a lot of my cooks, because I personally, and I'm not an ambassador, so don't get me wrong. I just think his product works for just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does.
It does. We've got some stuff over here. Obviously, I'm doing keto. I made some like pork rinds, or crackling as we call it over here, and I put some Uncle Steve's on it while it was cooling down. Oh man, it was so nice. Just the original one. I've done the original shake, and I've done with one with a gator shake on it. I'll be honest,
that gator shake is amazing.
Popcorn, right on popcorn.
Yeah, that's what it was designed for, was it not? I think that's what he said. Gator shake he made for popcorn.
Yeah,
it's nice and pork rind or pork scratchings. If you get them really, really hot and they just sort of like really bubble up and go light,
yeah,
it's good, really good.
It's good on fish as well, because it's got all the
citrus notes,
like citrus notes to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I'll have to give that a try.
Well, actually, while we're on the subject of Uncle Steve's shake, we've got to get you something shipped over. I'm going to be totally honest. I was supposed to have messaged Steve to say about you won last week, and I forgot, and that's just reminded me. So apologies, but I'll hit him up, and you'll get something in the post, hopefully. Steve, if you're watching, sorry. Apologies. But it'll be coming, I'm sure. Steve's a good guy. And he does. He helps us out a lot. He sent some stuff over, which is really kind. I know we say about it all the time. And he's got the pond swimmer thing still going, isn't it? I think he's sending stuff over to the UK for a decent price. So anybody watching, listening in the UK, check out Uncle Steve Shakes. He's got some really good stuff going on.
Absolutely.
And why we're talking about rubs, we have the Rusty Barbecue Company, who helps us out as well. They're running a discount code on our website at the moment for 10% off.
Sure is.
Check it out on the website. Thanks, Russ. You're a great dude. Just like him.
Absolutely.
Oh, him. There. And back we go again.
Yeah. So, let's get some more questions rolling. Biggest bloopers?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah?
So back in the day, we used to film 6 to 8 episodes on a Sunday, because we would film every other weekend or every other 3 weeks. And our last episode for the day, and I want to say it's the one time we did 8, and I've been drinking the entire time, and I made a keto tequila sunrise. And it's up there, and I did the bloopers on it as well. And I kept calling the tequila vodka 3 times. And my cameraman would be like, it's tequila. It's tequila. I'm like, God, F. This is going to be one effing strong drink, things like that. But I thought, when I was editing the video, I thought, this is going to be great for bloopers.
Mm-hmm.
Not really for children, but the drink came out amazing at the end of the day, and it was just fun to go back and watch.
Yeah. It's
certainly hope that children aren't watching tequila sunrise videos.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Because you can't guarantee it nowadays.
Yeah, another one that I did is armadillo eggs, and I forgot to turn the mic on. But I happened to have my iPhone mic on, but it was, when I tried to edit the video, it came out so horrible. Even when I tried to turn up the volume on it, it came out so horrible. So it's just one of those things that you just never know. I've had batteries die in the middle of it, and you just keep yapping away, and you're like, oh crap, I got to redo it.
Yeah.
But that was my biggest blooper, and we decided at that point never to do more than 4 episodes at a time if we filmed.
It's so
That's
easy.
that's still an impressive amount of recording to be done in a weekend, mind.
Yeah, well, we used to do just like hamburgers, and I mean, if I was going to do hello, Uncle Steve. If I was going to do, like I've got that pork butt on right now, that would be a 1 episode kind of thing, and I would just film it myself. We used to do like burgers and just odds and ends and chicken, Cuban chicken adobo, things like that back in the day, and that's what we could just crank them out and do it. But the thing is, we would do. Let's say take that particular day. Back in the day, on Thursdays, I used to release a drink episode. Quit that about a year ago. So we would do 4 food and then 4 drinks. So it's like the drinks were like 5-minute episodes, and it would take you 15 minutes to film.
Yeah. The drink ones are quite an easy thing to do. I always do a drink one like once a month, and they're certainly easier seen. It's like a really punchy short video. You're like under 5 minutes, and like generally it's a couple of takes, unless it's as you go. If you get problems, you can see because you're like add this and then
yeah.
Just because you fucked up doesn't mean you have to drink the drink. And then, make another one and drink that one and that one and that one. You could just go.
Yeah, it does. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
My motivation.
Yeah. Oh, I messed up. Here's time to know. I did one drink where I made I think it was a Mexican mule, and I forgot to put the lime in. And my guess was my cameraman's girlfriend at the time. And she's like, oh, this is really good. We're drinking it. And so I entitled How Not to Make a Mexican Mule. Because after the cameras were rolling, I was like, what do you really think? She goes, it's missing the lime, man. I'm like, yep, you're right. So, and I even put in there, add a line, dumbass.
Nice. It's just the way you assemble them, isn't it? Especially if you're doing the cocktails, like boom, 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 boom. And it's so easy to miss something.
Let's be honest. Once it's in your stomach, it doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't need
That's
to look
true.
pretty, as long as it tastes nice.
That's why you want to continue to make them, right? Oh, I screwed up. I'll have another one.
The Blue Arrow one I done last week, it was last week. I had to make 3 of them just to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Well, they were good, but they were strong. It was like 3 shots of gin in one glass. And then other stuff. But the stuff you mixed it with was really citrusy, so you couldn't really taste the gin. But like I had 3 of them, and I was rocking. Like I shot a rib. Like while I was doing it, I was making a rib video as well. So it's like, I'm sort of like, well, I've got the camera out. I'll do my cocktail videos, so that's rolling. Then like I got this baby back video. I haven't edited it. No, that's coming out next week. But yeah, you can see that I started off and I was like, da, 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 and then at the end I was like, ribs.
That's the way it should be, man. That's the beauty of what we do, right?
So, there we go. What we got there? Steve sending some stuff over. Bird powder. Yeah, we'll definitely be sharing that out.
I hear the noise of ice cubes being poured into a rather large glass.
Nothing wrong with that, brother.
My time.
Competition bird powder. I'm looking forward to the bird powder. I was asked by Uncle Steve to do the testing. He had these bottles, right? And a bird 1, bird 2. And he asked, will you try these? And I said, yeah. So in my response to him was I liked both, but when I combined the 2 to make the third one, that's one I really like. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he came up with.
He's just put that you'll be getting yours ASAP.
Right on. So yeah, I love the cow powder. As a matter of fact, I've got to order more. And
you could simply request a cow powder from your win from last week.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay.
There you go.
And then I have 2 large bottles of the pig powder, and that's what I used on the pork butt today. I just put some mustard around it and then just coated that thing. I mean, not heavily, but, I gave it enough. And, a pork shoulder is going to take me 10 hours to cook anyways. So it'll all come together quite nicely. And I know it will. That's what I use on my ribs exclusively, is that competition pig powder.
Yeah, I use the pig powder on my baby backs. It's nice, and it gives you a great color as well, doesn't it? When they're done, it's such a really nice, good red.
It is, yeah.
Really, really nice when they come off. They do.
I like to take mine like my ribs, and I'll put the CPP on it, and then I'll let them rest and let them change the color, so it just kind of absorbs the moisture from the rib, and then that's when I'll put them on, versus just covering them and put them on immediately. And I find that with the CPP, once that color turns, then you put it on to your smoker. You get, for one, it adheres to the meat much better. And then I use 100% apple juice for my spray, my spritz spray, whatever you want to call it. And if you spritz it, that stuff doesn't fall off, so it just becomes a part of the flavor of the meat. And oh my gosh, I've had people guests over, and they just love that stuff.
I'll be honest, I rarely spritz ribs. I
really?
normally wrap them. Yeah, if I'm doing baby backs, I just sort of hit them up the normal way. Sometimes I'll put mustard on, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I just put the rub on, let it sit, bang it on. But they cook so quick anyway, you don't really need to. Well, especially not in a drum. You can just put it in there, pull them off in a few hours, and you've got the little pull back and nice and tender with a little bit of a bite,
See, so on my show the other night, we had the debate on fall off versus not, and I prefer fall off.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of people out there who don't, and I respect that, but I will put them on at 180, the ribs naked with the Uncle Steve's on there for 2 hours, and then I'll pull them off and wrap them in tin foil. That's another one of my biggest fails right there. I put it back on for 2 hours, and then what I like to do is take that juice that's in there after you're at 4 hours now, and pour it off into a pan. That's where my biggest fail came in the other day. And then take them out, put them naked back on. And then if somebody wants to put barbecue rub on, I've got it there. Go for it. I don't need it because I think that I prefer it pretty much by itself. But, we talked about biggest fails the other day. I had my sister over, and so I took that juice out before that final half hour, and I decided I'm going to make a dipping sauce. Yeah. And I put just a little bit of apple cider vinegar in with the juice and a little bit of mustard, and went, nah, that's not quite what I want. So I put some apple juice in it, trying to bring it back. That didn't work. So I put some pineapple in it. That didn't work. And it's like, I give up.
That
was a huge fail.
Of butter in it.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Nice bit of butter, make it all emulsify again, and it'll be.
Nice, motherfuckers!
Hard rock.
Making my laugh.
So what I'll do is I totally agree with you on the butter. When I take them off at the 2 hour mark and put them on the tin foil, this is a trick I got from Kent. Is I'll put butter on there and then some honey. Just drizzle a little bit of honey over, wrap them up, put them back on, and oh my god, it complements the CPP, or the CPP complements it, or whatever, and it just comes out spot on every time.
Yeah, like butter on ribs, man. You're not going to get much better than that. Well, as you know, I'm swerving the sugar a little bit at the minute, but like to be fair, the especially Uncle Steve's products, because it's like keto friendly anyway for like the bits I'm using. It's nice enough. It's sweet enough, especially the Gator Shake on rib. They're real good.
Yes, I agree. Gator Shake goes on just about anything. Just perfect. If I've got a big old chunk of like a couple weeks ago, I did a big old God, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. I use Uncle Steve's stick meat on it. And it was a real chuck roast, and man, it just was spot on.
Mm.
So I've already used up my competition cow powder. So, but the thick meat is designed just exactly for that big old roast, and it was just spot on for me.
This is going down far too easy.
If you're nearly one deep already, you're going to be like, woo-ha.
I'll tell you what, this is the first drink I've had in, I don't even know. When did I start taking those fucking tablets? I don't know, donkeys years ago. It's got to be at least 3 months.
Mm.
I'm going to this next. Charlie's favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, lovely Mai Tai. Look at the colour on that.
God, man.
Sure.
Do you deliver?
I wish. The wife's only just gone and sat. She's literally just walked in the door. She's come upstairs and she's just made me this. And then
I'm moving to your town, dude.
By the time she even puts her lips to hers, I'm going to need another one.
I'm moving to your town. That's it. One of you guys got to find me a job. I'm moving to your town.
Happily. Happily. You're welcome. Come over.
That is an absolute beauty. Let's give it a little bit of a mix up.
And it sounds good as well.
Mm. So, back to the questions. Where were
cheers,
we?
Guys.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers for you, Charlie.
Cheers, Charlie. You should have it.
Charlie said chuck roast. That's chuck roast. That's what it was. And chuck roast, I think chuck roast is great.
Dutchie's
like
ribeyes with
yeah.
That would be good too.
I haven't done any ribeye for ages. Another one. Blimey.
Matt, I'm moving next door.
I think she's trying to get you junk, Matt.
Oh. Where's Daddy Cooks when you need him? That guy goes there every time you talk to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Mine too strong now.
No.
Sweeter.
I don't know. This,
Phil can.
Ah.
He can bang them away. I'll tell you what. Last time we done his podcast with him,
I saw that.
By the time I come up,
I had him on one night, and it wasn't one of my shows or anything. I just went live, and him and Jared from Frack Daddy, we went on. They both came on, and we talked for about 2 hours about race and politics and Blazing Saddles. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Blazing Saddles.
Oh, I've seen Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
Oh my god! And he asked me for permission to turn it into a podcast. You bet, brother. You go for it, man. And I listened to that podcast. I'm like, oh my god, the places that we went.
There's pretty much nothing off the limits. No, it's Phil. It's lovely. The way everybody chats around, it's really cool. I enjoy that a lot.
I do too.
I was talking to Matt about that a little while ago. It's really cool.
I enjoy the open talk. You can just talk with Phil.
Yeah, definitely. He's got such a good sort of he can put a conversation out of anywhere. It's really really wise.
He's not difficult to talk to, is he? He's just good lad. Like him.
Yeah. Nice guy, 100%.
Nearly as much as I like that Mai Tai.
I tell you what, the way you're banging down, you're going to be struggling to read them questions, mate. You're like nearly 2 minutes.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to put the PayPal link in the chat, and people can do super shots for me.
There you
go. We're not. We don't get super shots yet, do we? We're not.
Yeah, but we can just put a PayPal link, and they can just donate and watch me get shit faced.
I would do that in a heartbeat, man.
All right. First time back on the alcohol. First time back on the show on alcohol.
I am so honored, by the way.
You're going to be running around your garden after your dog like Greg was when he came up.
Love, where's the peanut butter?
Matt, keep the clothes on, please.
Yeah.
I'll just go and piss in the corner like Greg did.
It's funny. I want to tell you guys a quick story.
Mm-hmm.
We did a wedding 2 years ago. 2 years ago, from a couple from Britain. up here, right? And they're both one is a chiropractor, one of them is a nutritionist, and they're just south of London. And just Matt and Helen, just a great couple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we walk into this bar. We'd never met them before. Walk into this bar, and I hear this couple in the corner with an accent. So I go, "Hey, are you guys here for a wedding by chance?" "Oh, yeah. And I go, "Hey, honey, I think I found your Brits." And they thought that was just the best thing. And so we talk about lubes and all sorts of shit, right? But these guys, one night, actually it was after that night, we happened to meet up with them at a bar. And we had a great time. Everybody got trashed. We were stumbling distance from the bar to our hotel room. The next day, it was Stacy and Stacy was this couple's name. And Stacy with a Y, the guy, he's like, I go, "Hey, Stacy, how was last night?" He goes, "Oh, man, shit, we got pissed last night." And my wife's like, "Why would you guys get mad at each other?" And I go, "No, honey, they got drunk."
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." And he goes, "How would you say it?" And Stacy with the Y is like, "How would you say it in American, for lack of a better term?" And I go, "Hey, you got wasted or you got plowed?" And he goes, "No, we didn't have sex last night."
I was going to say, plowed means sex in English. If you walk up to a bloke in the pub and say, "I got well plowed last night," it'd be like, "What?"
Good for you. I'll raise a toast to you, buddy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a proper old English term as well, ploughed. That goes right back to the Saxon times, ploughing.
Okay.
Yeah. A bit of old
Well, there you
English.
go. I didn't know the history behind the slang for sex, but I'm glad I do now.
I'm a useless mine of information. Me, you know me, Matt. I can I can pull anything up and regurgitate it.
I kind of got that when we were talking while you were in Turkey. I kind of got that out of you.
Yeah.
When you were on vacation or holiday.
Yeah. I love history. I find it, but there's so much you can learn from the past and apply it to now or the future. It's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, guys. I'm known for taking conversations off into tangents.
No, this is
that's what this is all about. You know, we're here to chill out. We're a relaxed barbecue talk show. We're not, we don't want to do structured all the time. It's good to have a little bit of variance.
I'm going to put you guys down as a sister talk show.
Yeah,
nice.
Cool. Partners, hands across the water, brother. That's what it's all about.
Okay.
I dig it.
Hands touching hands, just not during COVID. Reaching out.
It's elbows on elbow.
Touching me.
or being plowed.
Yeah. Nice.
I'll tell you what, if you can get it across the Atlantic, you're in the wrong job, mate.
Dear.
Oh, no, Steve, you never heard of that up north? I'm surprised, man. I thought, because it's like a Norman thing, or
getting ploughed.
Yeah, it's an old English term. Ploughed, Saxons, probably even back to the Vikings, maybe even.
I reckon you're just making it up now.
I'm not.
Saxons, Vikings, just throw it in. Anybody.
And now, your history lesson with Ryan.
The history of sex. The sexual
Ryan.
words. Sexual terms. The history of. There's another podcast all on its own.
I want to be on that one.
Hey, take a journey through Ryan's dirty mind.
Well,
Join us for some pillow talk.
Oh, there you go. Pillow talk with Ryan G.
Yeah, I will spin off if I've never seen one. You can come and join us for all your meat requirements, and then join Ryan for his pillow talk.
Pillow talk.
After hours with Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, the shit we get up to, eh?
This isn't even the pub club, and we've gone so far off. We need to get. Come on, we've got some questions to do, Matt. Let's just. I was going to say plough into them, but maybe that's the wrong terminology.
So, your YouTube channel, tell us about it, Mike. How many subscribers are you on now?
As of yesterday, I had 1,216.
Nice.
It was primarily just cook whatever the hell you want, but it's kind of gone into, for me personally, into the grilling barbecue side of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did add my daughter into it. She's vegan. She wanted to kind of get her word out. I thought it would be just
Does
kind of
she tell everybody that she's vegan?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She's very proud of it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it.
It's an up-and-coming market, though, isn't it?
It really is. And what I want to do is be able to help her launch her channel. But in the same side, I mean, let's face it, we all want to monetize, right?
Yeah.
So
I thought you were. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm not. And that's okay. Eventually it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to help her out, of course, because she's my daughter.
Yeah,
and that's where she wants to go. So I'd like to be able to help her launch her channel, but I don't know. She decided to take November off from social media. I applaud her for that. I really do.
Fair play.
Mm-hmm.
And but she'll be on there more and more. I think for the Dude's Kitchen and Grill, especially during the winter, it'll probably be more along the lines of our Wednesday night chat.
Yeah.
You know, just because I'm 53, as I get older, I really don't like the cold as much as I could tolerate it when I was younger.
Mm.
And I'm looking out,
anyway.
especially right now, I'm looking outside at my cook area, and I just see leaves everywhere. We have two maple trees on each side of our patio, and they're just dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have a couple of episodes that I haven't edited yet for my daughter that will get out there. But that's one of the reasons why the Wednesday night talk show kind of came about, is because I don't really want to cook in the cold.
I'm with you on that one, mate. Like I said earlier, I'd rather be sat in my duvet or something, you know, eating comfort food.
Correct.
Oh, I'm just one of them idiots who sit outside next to a barbecue drinking anything. As long as the barbecue's on, I don't mind. I just like being outside, fresh air. If it's cold, put a coat on.
I'm certainly going to try to get out more in the cold this year. Now I've got the shit shed.
The thing is, now you've got a cover on, it's going to bounce the heat down, so it'll be warmer in there anyway. It'll be good. That's what I've found.
Great. I mean, the heat will bounce back, so will the fucking water.
Yeah. Well, I just
it's like I might.
Fine.
I'm thinking about doing it in my garage, but I have a 70 Camaro over there that I've owned since '83. I have a motorcycle right there, and then I'm right here. And I just don't have a lot of room really in my garage, even though it's cleaned up. Yeah, that's what I did with my Camaro. It sat on. It's torn apart right now, but I had it on just stands forever.
Wheels. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now I put the tires back on it, and blew it up, and put it on casters so I can move it over with no problem. But still,
yeah,
I just don't have a lot of room. But we'll see.
Matt doesn't want to cook in the cold and wet. You're right. I don't.
I do. I will be. Have you got any Christmas cooks lined up though? Have you recorded them yet, or are you going to record them yet?
I love ham, and I'm not a big turkey fan. So for us, our next big, I wouldn't say big, but fun holiday is Halloween, and then in the last of November we have Thanksgiving, which is primary turkey, and I'm not a big turkey fan.
So if you're not a big turkey fan, what would you cook instead? Or do you cook the turkey and just not?
I don't. We usually go out to my parents, or one year my son made ribs. I'm not kidding. This is something totally different. Or ham. I would love a ham. I love ham. So for Christmas, it'll either be a prime rib or a ham. Probably both. And that would be kind of cool. I never really thought of that. It would be kind of cool to do that in advance, a prime rib and or a ham for Christmas. Let's face it, Christmas is about kids, and I don't have any kids. Goddamn flies. I don't have any kids. I have grandkids, but Christmas is about kids and eating for me.
Yeah.
At this point.
I can do eating.
Yeah. I have 2 grandkids. Due to COVID, my son and his wife had to move back in, and that's fine and dandy. They have 2 kids, and so I have 2 kids running in the house constantly. And one of the kids actually has a different mom, although my son has her most of the time. And I find the house very empty when she's gone. And it kind of saddens me too. And I strive on 100 miles an hour, balls to the wall, just whatever's going on. Now, it ain't for everybody, especially my wife, but I get it. That's what I strive on. She's not here. I'm just like, whatever. Gonna have
running off
beer.
the energy.
And she's 3 years old, almost 3, and she's full of energy. She calls me Grandpa Homie, of all things. I'm her only grandpa.
That's cool.
And it came from my. I have a grandson who's 7, and he was a very uptight young man when he was 2, 3, 4. So I told him my name is Grandpa Homie, and I never heard him laugh so hard. So that name's kind of stuck, and so now my granddaughter calls me Grandpa Homie all the time.
That's lovely.
She's like, Grandpa Homie, are you at the front door? Yep, that's me. I love it.
Yeah, that's a really nice story. I tell you what, kids that age, they get to once they're sort of like walking, and I suppose from about 1.5 up to, well, just before they get into school. Once they get into school,
between 1.5 and 2. That's
1.5, 2, somewhere in there.
No, and then they get chopsy.
The terrible 2s aren't that bad now.
Breathe.
Sure.
You haven't met my son yet,
a 5-year-old. Good God! They go from doing everything you tell them to do, go and do this, go and do that, put your shoes away, tidy up, blah blah blah. Then they get into preschool, and it's like, I ain't doing that. Why should I do that? I'm not going to put my shoes away. Why not? Because so and so don't put her shoes away. Are you going to give me any?
Why?
That's just how it goes. Yeah.
Because this.
But the one thing the one thing I can always get them to do is cook.
Yeah.
And it can be something as simple as my wife has a lot of medical issues, and she can only do a liquid diet. So I do a lot of the potatoes that come out of a box, right? And my granddaughter loves. She's the one that kind of comes and goes, and she loves to help me cook with that. So she can help grandma out. Or even like she was here earlier today, and when I had when I put the pork butt on, she was right there watching everything I did with that pork butt, from patting it down to cutting off the excess fat to putting mustard on it to the Uncle Steve's competition pig pattern. She was right there for the whole thing. They love cooking for some reason, and I think they equate it with eating.
Yeah, mine's the same. If you say to him, "Oh, we're going to make some cakes" or something like that, in the kitchen.
Yep,
loves it.
They love that stuff.
Stood there on his little stool. Can I lick the spoon? Can I do the mixing? Can I crack the eggs? Everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really,
I was over at my sister's house the other day, and my niece was making something. It had like curry in it, and mustard, and ketchup, and all sorts of crazy shit. But she needed help cracking 2 eggs, and as I told my sister, hey, just let her do her thing, and let's cook it up and see what it's like. And it was horrible, but to be honest with you, she had a blast doing it. What do you think, Uncle
Yeah.
Mike? And I went, or she calls me Uncle Homie a lot of times too. What do you think, Uncle Mike or Uncle Homie? I'm like, I think it could use a little bit of work, but you're on the right track.
Yeah, exactly. Positive enforcement. That's what you got to do, especially with
Yeah. Yeah, keep working it, girl. Keep working
No,
it.
I'm going to make like Rice Krispie cakes or something with him.
Ooh,
this
that's-
week. It's half term. Can't beat a Rice Krispie cake. It takes me back to my childhood. That, you know, just so simple. But you know, it's stuff that you make when you're a kid, isn't it? Rice Krispie cakes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rice Krispies, bit of chocolate, job done.
There you go. No, they love that stuff. And you know what? It gives you interaction with them and memories.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. In my
To
opinion.
be fair, he likes coming out and cooking on a barbecue with me. Like you said, Mikey, they've got a fascination for food, haven't they?
They do.
He'll come. All right, granted, he'll only sit outside with me for about 5 minutes. He'll be like, Dad, I'll come and help you do the barbecue. Okay, no worries. Come on in. You know what to do. Get the you know, the woolies out to light up the chimney starter. He'll get them out of the bag for me, put them in the barbecue.
Mhm.
Then he'll get the lighter, and then he'll come over and go, I'll do it. And then it's like he can't work out the kid safety bit. Good, because we don't want no arsonists at the 5. So we'll do that together. And yeah, he just loves it. And then he gets bored because he's got to wait 5 minutes or 10 minutes for the chimney starter to do its thing.
But once it happens, then they're all over it.
Yeah.
You know, and think about it. I mean,
Mine loses interest at that point.
oh, mine will be right there.
If
I was like,
if it was bang, 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 you've cooked, job done, he'd do it. But because there's like a sort of an intermission where you've got to wait for the chimney starter and the coals to get hot, that's it. Gone.
well,
Bye.
see, for me, it's like I make it a big thing, right? So when I'll start the chimney, they'll be looking at it going, I don't see anything, Grandpa Homie. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I'll tell you what, when the flame starts coming through, I'll tell you. So they go off, do their thing, play, whatever. And then, hey, Aiden, that's my oldest. Hey, Aiden, look, we got flame. And he'll be like, oh, that's so cool, Grandpa. Oh, I love that. And then it's like, can we start now? And nope, just wait. I'll tell you when we get more flames. Oh, okay. And then he'll come back. Oh, my gosh, look at that. That's so cool. It's just a matter of, I'm a kid at heart. I really am.
Yeah,
I love hanging out with little kids because they're pure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean that in a predatory way. They're just pure. They want to do their thing and they don't want to hurt anybody. And so, like, when we were at my sister's house the other day, I was hanging out with my niece, and it's just like she has this Barbie and a grocery store and things. And we have a cat named Diesel, who is a Siamese cat. And she had this little tiny white cat that was all part of this grocery store thing. I'm like, what's your kitty's name? Oh, that's Diesel, Uncle Mike. Oh, okay, cool. You know, she just wanted to play with that. So we just played with the grocery store thing, you know. I love doing that because it's just it's energizing to me.
I think if you
Maybe it's a grandpa thing. I don't know.
no, it's just a lovely thing to do. Taking time out with your kids. Life is busy. Sometimes you just need to stop and do something and
Smell the rose.
appreciate what you're actually doing instead of thinking about what they should be doing.
Absolutely.
I'm not above going out and when it's nice and warm and laying on the ground, you know, like it's so in the snow, you make snow angels, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the middle of the summer, just laying out there with my granddaughter and looking at the stars, or my niece or my grandson or whatever, just looking at the stars. And that's what they want to do. I'm not above doing that. It doesn't mean anything to me. I'd rather do that than sit in the house and talk about, is Donald Trump going to get reelected? Or I can't believe what so-and-so did, blah, blah, blah. I'd rather just go out there and hang out with them and just experience the beauty of what it was like when I was 5-6 years old.
Mm-hmm. I've got a little, my nephew Connor, I could probably say he was kind of interested in the universe is a big thing to say, but the solar system, like the moon and the stars and the planets and all that sort of stuff. And like we went on holiday with him a couple of years ago, and he was like, "Oh, Uncle Ryan, why is that red over there?" I goes, "Oh, that isn't a star, that's a planet. It's Mars." "Oh, it's Mars." And it's like, "Yeah, it's Mars." And then I sort of he got more and more and more and more into it, and now so like then he got a phone, so I was like, yeah, put this on it. It's like the sky maps thing where you can see the planets. And then it was his birthday in the summer, so I got him like a telescope so he couldn't like look around the stars and stuff. And whenever he comes around, it's always so it's a connection, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about memories.
If they're round late enough, we'll be outside and yeah, that's that one. You see that shape? That's the Great Bear, and that one's this one, and that up there, that's Polaris, and all that sort of stuff. And he absorbs it so much because he's sort of hanging on every word you're saying, and they're just like, wow, and it totally blows his mind. You know, it's really, really cool. Like when he was, like, I was totally. Deb was like, "Oh, what are we going to get him for his birthday?" I was like, "Yeah, we got to get him a telescope." And like, to be
planetarium next then.
Well, we probably spent a little bit too much money on him than what we should do, but it's enough for him to it'd do him well for a few years, if you know what I mean. It's a good one, so yeah.
And then you hook him into barbecuing.
Yep, absolutely.
All over.
This is turning into all about us. It's all about you, to be honest.
It's all good, brother.
It's all good. Top tip for you, Matt. I've got a video on my channel. No one's really seen it, but it's me and Charlie cooking when Charlie was little. Mm. He was like, "Oh yeah, I want to do a barbecue video with you, Dad." And I was like, "Yeah, come on then." So I got like a little Smoky Joe, you know, like the little camping barbecue Weber does. So I was like, "This is your barbecue. You can make on it. What are we gonna make?" So it's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do some sausages." So we put some sausages on there. Then I got him to make a burger. So I was like, he done like a little piece talking to camera. This is how you make a burger. You've got to mash it all up. And like, his hands are so tiny, but the gloves were massive. So like great big floppy fingers. And he made like these little patties. And
I know what I'm watching next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll put the link in the description down below.
Sorry, guys. I know you'll never want me on again because I take people on wild tours.
I like having you on, Mike. You're a great guest.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're really easy to talk to, and like we get on great. You know what I mean? We've had loads of conversations off camera and stuff, so it's good. Yep. Always welcome on this show, mate. Friend of the show.
Thank you.
And it's good to have you on.
I try to watch. I have an alarm set on my phone that says, "Oh, it's 2:20. Guess what time it is?" And most of the time I'm at work, and that's why I can't hop on later on. But
no, that's cool. It's just one of those time zone things. It's nice to know that we've got people that follow us religiously.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, I love your show. That's why I said when I was talking to my co-host for my show, I wanted her to take a look at your guys' show. Say this is similar to what I want to do. Very, very similar. And I actually made the comment, I consider this a sister show. So this is part of the family, Monica. And she was okay.
Well, if you're looking for a sisters, you got to go look for the daddy show. In my opinion, Rice is like he's the daddy. You know,
he's the daddy.
You know, he's got all the good stuff going on.
Oh yeah,
it's like Ricer said. His boys help out all the time. Yeah, and I've seen that. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, he's given us some good advice. He's a great dude as well. And Charles and Lep, they both help us out a bit. And Ricer has given us some good advice, good sound advice.
We've had lots of advice from lots of people, haven't we? But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's sort of like
I think like the best bit of advice I would give would be just absorb everything from everybody. Exactly. Even if someone gives you a bad idea, it's probably an idea that you can manipulate, or not manipulate, but you can make work for yourself, or ideas of making yourself better. Just I mean, we've taken it on, and I mean, Rice's comments about getting rid of the green screens, that was it was a way of us certainly getting rid of them, because they were just to try and mask where we were. We didn't have the backdrops and all the fancy bits that we could do to mask where we were, and now we're in that position where we can.
And that's awesome. I love that. If you guys watch my show, any suggestions you have, please. I don't take them like, oh goddamn those guys, it would be like, okay, these guys are way ahead of me in life. They know
So
what the hell they're talking about.
the only I guess the a nice cheap one for you, Mike, with your backdrop. Although you've got a backdrop, that's obviously the sides. I would say my.
I like
There you
yours.
go. Okay.
I like Ryan's too. Yeah.
That came from Amazon. It's a newer product. And I can make it bigger by another 6 foot.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
And then the blanket comes with it. I think it cost me about 30 quid. So whatever, that would be in dollars.
I gotta
Really
Google
not
30
that
quid. 30,
probably what,
30
$35 if that.
$39.13.
There you go. And it came with 3 different backdrops. So I've got a black, a white, and a green.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, then that would cover your 2 side bits.
Matt, there's a couple things
camera.
that I want to ask you off. So I'll send you some text because there's a couple things I've often noticed too. So, but that's beside the point.
Carry on. You can ask the questions now. People are always asking questions.
There's one question that I am dying for you guys to answer. And I'm just going to give you a hint. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to take over.
No.
It's albums.
You want to know what albums?
I want to know. You guys ask me.
We ask the question, don't we?
You guys do every time. And I have a variance of that. On my show.
Cool, man.
Come on, ask. Come on.
Well, you want me to ask you? You want me to ask you what your top 3 are?
Yes, I am a junkie. I have been
top
since
3,
1984. My top 3 albums. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate it.
I thought you were asking us.
Chicago Transit Authority, CTA, 1969.
Okay.
I love every single album on that double album, or every single song on that double album record. I love acid rock. Chicago 8 would be number 2. I love all songs but one. And then Hysteria by Def Leppard.
Nice.
I am a huge Chicago fan, especially the really, really, really old stuff. Acid rock.
I don't think we've ever answered the question of what our top 3 are either, have we, Ryan?
Nobody's ever asked. When you come on my show, you guys will answer that question.
For sure.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Pink Floyd. Love that. You know what I love about Pink Floyd? I'm a bass player. Pink Floyd is heavy bass. Heavy bass. And Gilmour is a great guitarist.
Dark Side of the Moon or Wish You Were Here? Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's a difficult choice as well.
Another one I like is I love Money and the Teachers. Leave them kids alone.
Yeah.
The CTA was recorded live in a studio. And I don't know if you guys know what acid rock is. I don't know if it's more of an American thing or not. Think of Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, Santana, Cream, Steppenwolf. It's considered proto heavy metal. It's considered proto psychedelic. So another one out of the Brits. What Pink Floyd would be one of them, psychedelic. And what is Kelly's favorite band? ELO. Electric
Light Orchestra.
Yes.
So you're sort of almost heading along the lines of progressive rock then, that sort of sound.
Yeah, so have you ever watched Wayne's World?
Yep.
So Tia Carrere's characters love it. So Tia Carrere says, remember they're looking at the Stratocaster, right? And it's in the box and it says, no playing Stairway to Heaven. And she says, I'd file down the nut and take the buzz off the. That is an old 60s, late 60s, early 70s Stratocaster. If you listen to Santana, listen to Chicago Transit Authority, especially I'm a Manor, Chicago 2, 25-64. Listen to the guitar. It has a certain buzz to it. It is not clean like you would think of the late 70s, 80s rock. It is. It's more distorted. That's what I love. I cannot get enough of it. I'm sorry. And that's what I love about Chicago Transit Authority. And then you throw the wah-wah sound in there, which is sort of psychedelic.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I love about Chicago Transit Authority is you get both. And you really hear both the psychedelic sound and the pre-heavy metal sound. Matter of fact, Steppenwolf, Heavy Metal Thunder, Born to Be Wild. They talk about heavy metal before heavy metal was even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where heavy metal kind of is. The theory is, music theory, because I love music theory, is that's where heavy metal came from, was that verse. Where he says, heavy metal thunder. So, and almost any heavy metal person loves Steppenwolf.
Yeah, I'm not a massive metal fan, but I sort of understand music a little bit.
I'm not either, but I understand where it comes from.
Yeah, definitely. Right, everything sort of comes from blues and the Beatles or the Stones, and it just sort of grows from. That's where modern music sort of took its roots from, pretty much. It's sort of, kind of, maybe, I don't know. In my opinion, anyway.
Sorry, I love music. Being a bass player, I love music.
Where, go on.
Yeah, no, Rice's question.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rice has just put a thing up a couple of minutes ago.
So, Jeff, it is called it's called the Wednesday Night Barbecue and Talk Show. Wednesday night was our last Wednesday, so 2 days ago was our first episode. It comes on at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Our guest this week is Craig from Behind the Garage Barbecue. The week after is Scott from Dr. Taste Good Barbecue. And it's very similar to this show. I would consider this show, in my opinion, this show's a sister show.
Thank you, mate.
That's much appreciated. Honestly, that's really
absolutely cool. You guys rock. Really cool. I love your show.
We should try and do some sort of there we go, me going off piece again. We should try and do a little bit of a Christmas special show, sort of like combine.
What, where you wear a hat?
I love that idea.
You wear a Santa hat.
Yeah, I'm gonna dress up as a naughty elf.
You know what's funny is right behind me is a Santa costume.
No, I think maybe get 2 or 3 or maybe 4 shows together and make a big show.
I love that idea, Ryan.
Maybe sort of start it off with maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because we can have a lot of time on our hands anyway because it's Christmas. So it's just an excuse for 1, coming on the internet, 2, talking to your mates, and 3, getting really blasted every night. So,
I'm all good with that, man.
Sounds good to me.
Plowed. We're all going to get plowed.
My wife is on here. Yeah. Mrs. Dude has an entire Santa album. Yes, I did Santa 2 years ago at my niece's birthday party.
Yeah,
don't tell.
That's anybody. What we got. We got to make a super show with a like
a super show. I like that.
That's a great idea. That is
Kent,
a great idea.
Are you still in the chat, Kent? I think we should have like a combination of the your show, our show. Get Jeff in, Pit Life Boys. Fuck, let's just get everybody in.
You can almost start it with Ricer's show on Sunday, then my show, then
Well, I suppose Rice's Pit Life, yours.
yeah, and then Johnny Mag's
yeah,
show
you're right.
in there
Do it
somewhere.
for the whole week.
Yeah, you could do a whole
Got
week
it.
of it, and we could just kind of like cover the whole thing, or the whole week.
Get Daddy Cooksing in on a day that isn't normally scheduled, because he floats his podcast about.
Oh, Phil would.
Oh, Phil, yeah, Phil. I'm sure Phil would do it. Phil's
Absolutely.
And then you got Kent. I love Kent. He's awesome, and CJ with their
We
show.
can all sit there and just do pen flips, just to, I don't think he's in the chat because he would have already shouted at me by now.
Yeah. A super show. Yeah, I think that's probably got maybe in between. Up running up
legs.
to, or
I have a first for you guys. I have to take a break.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, because we're at that point anyway. We're an hour and a half in. I'll wrap up the formalities, run the ad break, and then we can come back to the pub club. How's that sound?
I will be in there. Thank you, guys.
Right.
I'm sorry to hijack everything. It's just
no, you haven't hijacked anything. So,
all right.
Tell the people where they can find you on social media, mate. Just before we run away.
The Dude's Kitchen on Facebook, The Dude's Kitchen and Grill on Instagram, and The Dude's Kitchen and Grill on YouTube. And I'm on Twitter too, but I don't know what the hell that one is.
Right. Just got to get all the names out there somewhere, haven't you, mate?
Yep.
Okay, so that's it for this week. Please remember, if you're watching live, to stick around for the pub club. Thanks for tuning in again to the
I'll be there
show this week.
All right, guys.
Remember, we're available in podcast form, and if you miss us live, you can catch us up in that way. Available on all podcast platforms. Please go check out the Facebook page. Give us a like. We also have a group. Go and check that one out. Put up your pictures, videos, things like that, and build our community. Don't forget to check out our website, bbqtalks.com. That's bbqtalks.com. We've got some affiliate codes on there for discounts for the Rusty Barbecue Co. for the UK, and Meter as well, global. So if you want to grab yourself a Meter product, Christmas is coming up. Go get yourself one of those at 15% off there as well. Any interest in becoming a guest on our show, guest at bbqtalks.com. The handles for all of the for different bits, barbecue talk show. Check out my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Smoking Q's, and then check out Ryan's Instagram, Brian_G's_barbecue.stuff, and Ryan G's barbecue and stuff YouTube. Fuck me, I got it all out without breaking. Right.
Before we go, I'd like to say Malcolm Reed likes Meter.
He does?
He does. Malcolm Reed likes Meter. So, see you on the other side, guys.
You're torturing me, Smalls. You're torturing me.
Bye now.
Right.